What do you want to do with the tobacco? Tobacco's a really basic idea.
I do want to use native.
Yeah, no, I definitely do vanilla Ruyan.
We can do that.
For
RY4.
All right, let's do it.
So a true RY4 is you've got vanilla, you've got maybe some type of a cream in there of some sort, a slight tobacco note. What else?
I want like a robust tobacco
Okay.
with fuck. You guys keep going.
You were in the middle of something. What are we going to keep going on? Like, that was your thought.
We have robust tobacco. All right, I'm going for it.
I'm cool with trying to do just a deep RY4. Have you guys tried Wonder Flavors Vanilla Ruyan?
Mm-hmm.
That. I want it to taste like vanilla Ruyan custard, but actually have the tobacco flavor. Because most RY4s, they don't actually have a tobacco flavor. And I've been trying to tackle it. I've tried multiple times in the past. I can't quite get it to come through properly on the creams, or have the creams come through on the tobaccos. It's either one or the other.
Okay, I would like a robust tobacco, a good caramel, good vanilla. I like the custard to actually have a nice finish. It can't be too wet. It can't be too dry.
I think we should go for a goal of having it perfectly balanced, where it's a full tobacco and a full dessert at the same time.
Well, it has to be, because here's the thing. When a lot of people try to go after a dessert tobacco, what ends up happening is there's either a tobacco off note or a very damp, wet tobacco. So you need to have a reasonable balance between the two, because otherwise it's just a tobacco off note.
Wonder Flavors Vanilla Ruyan Custard is like, it's not only a great base for an RY4, it's just a great vanilla or custard base.
He's right, but the problem is with Vanilla Ruyan Custard is that it's amazing. It's a very smoky vanilla caramel, but it lacks a little bit on the custard. It's more of a cream. So you do need to back up that custard a little bit.
So let me see if I got this clear. So we're going after a robust tobacco that has some separation between the tobacco and the custard part. Is that what you're going for?
We want to make sure that both come through. Not necessarily that they need to be separate, but they both need to be full flavored.
Okay.
If you're going after a custard, it does help to kind of lean your way to say, oh, this is more of a pipe tobacco, because they are a little damp. Going for more of a pipe tobacco, a custard pipe tobacco.
So the base part, that's going to be the Wonder Flavors Ryan custard. Is it Ryan or Ruyan custard? And that is not, I don't believe that's a super concentrate, right?
No, I don't think so.
We're probably going to have to use it fairly high.
2%.
It works all the way from like 2 to 5 to your
You're
range.
not going to get more custard out of it higher, though. It's establishing a base, but you're going to need to back it up with something.
As you go higher with vanilla Ruyan custard, the caramelized sugar, the sweetness comes out more than the custard part.
Yep.
So we've got that as kind of the foundation. Max, you said that you wanted it to be more of a custard than cream that's in the Wonder Flavors.
Wonder Flavors RY Custard, it really leans more on the cream side than a custard. So if we can back up that custard a little bit, it'd be perfect.
What do you think about using a creme brulee flavor to back that up?
I picked up one-on-one creme brulee.
How is one-on-one creme brulee?
An analog of Inuera, it's just thin and it does the top note a little bit better.
So as far as bolstering that custard, should we go with just a traditional vanilla custard cap or something like that?
I don't think we should use cap, but I'm fine using another vanilla custard or just custard. Like if you want to do Inuera custard or TPA vanilla custard. Cap's vanilla custard sticks out like a sore thumb in anything.
Yeah, that's kind of, I didn't want to use it either.
I really don't like Capella's vanilla custard. I love TFA's, but a safe middle ground is like French vanilla, but it's still a cream.
Okay, I don't know much about the tobaccos, but for the custard, I don't know if I'd want an eggy custard, or because there's different levels of custard. There's like the eggy custard, and then there's more like the whipped cream frosting type of custard where it just like tastes like fucking vanilla. I don't know, maybe TFA custard.
I'm down with that. I actually think that would work better in a tobacco, just for the simple fact that I get just a little bit of a pepper note from that, and that actually might be good with a tobacco.
Well, and it's not as cloying as the other custards. Like any other custard, that custard's in there, but TFA custard does well to not steal the spotlight. Whereas like if we went with fucking Capella, you'd taste it and you'd go, oh, that's Capella's custard.
Yeah, I don't want to go with that.
There's more of a subtlety, as well as like that vanilla in TFA it'll contribute a little bit, but it won't take over as much.
So I'm thinking like 2,2 TFA and vanilla Ruyan.
Native for sure.
Yes, native for sure, because native is a really good base. It gets progressively dry over time. So any kind of wetness that we do have, it can it'll help it out, you know? It's the perfect fucking tobacco base.
So native for sure is a really good base tobacco. I agree with that. What percentage?
You could do it at 1. What do you think?
Assuming we're going to add another tobacco, maybe more of an accent tobacco with a more distinct flavor than 1% should be good.
7 leaves?
I don't have that.
FA 7 leaves, I've only heard good things about. I've not personally used.
So we have 2,2 vanilla Ruyan and TPA custard. We have 1% native as our tobacco base, and now we're going to accent it with something more distinct tobacco-wise. I'm a really big fan of using Kentucky and things like custards because it has a great spice note that pairs perfectly in a custard.
Red burley and native go really well together.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky and native go really well together.
Cavendish.
That one's tough. I was going to say Arabian even.
Oh, Arabian's got a nice spice.
Or Turkish.
I'm liking the Turkish idea.
It's got a little bit of a rum note too. We could for sure go with Turkish. I say Turkish.
Okay, so now I don't have that much experience with tobaccos. The Turkish, does that bring a more dry or wet or
very neutral?
Both the native and the Turkish are pretty neutral. Native is a little bit drier, but they're both pretty neutral.
Does it bring some type of an ashy note to it?
It's spiced.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not heavy spice that is going to like
Yeah.
pull away from the custard at all.
It's like a spicy tobacco. Have you ever had like certain like different kinds of like Camel cigarettes or anything like that?
Not really. I mean, I've had spicy cigars before.
It's like that.
I think it's going to be perfect with, what are you thinking, like 0.75 Turkish?
We could go there. Yeah.
We're trying to dry it out, right? So we want to push a little bit hard for the tobacco.
We haven't talked about the caramel aspect to the RY4. So could
Okay.
we add some type of a caramel? Is there a caramel tobacco of some sort out there, or just a straight up caramel?
Well, yeah, red burley would definitely work, and it is a little bit chocolatey. If you push it over like 1.6 or something, it gets a little nutty. So if you want that, go over 1.6. You go to 2%. You want to just accent it with Turkish, I think it gets a little nutty too.
I don't know. I feel like vanilla Ruyan has plenty of caramel in it. I think it'd be fine where we have it because a little extra caramel would make it too wet, and extra vanilla would probably just overpower and dumb down the tobacco.
Super sweet.
Maybe, well, that does bring up ethyl maltol, which is good in tobaccos and custards both. We could throw in some ethyl maltol, but I haven't used ethyl maltol in years, so I don't know. The TFA custard, the note that Folkart mentioned about TFA custard adding a little bit of pepper, that kind of makes me want to add like 0.25% of TFA's vanilla bean ice cream just to add like a spice. But I feel like we should maybe tackle that if it's lacking something.
Right now, I say we just try the 4, right?
Okay, so here's the recipe that we've got up. It's 1% Flavora native tobacco, 0.75% Flavora Turkish tobacco, 2% TPA vanilla custard, 2% Wonder Flavors vanilla Ruin custard. There it is. Using Flavora native tobacco, 2%. I'm sorry, 1%. TPA vanilla custard in there. All right. And then we're going to put in our secret weapon here. This is Wonder Flavors vanilla ruin custard. At 4%. No, not 4%. 2%. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm going to go max VG with this. 2302.
I'd say it's pretty close.
We'll have to see after a steep.
I like the kind of spice note in there.
Native is so nice and neutral.
Damn, boys. I think we nailed it on this one.
I don't think it's done.
It feels a little bit flat. The balance is there, but it feels
Exactly.
flat.
Feels flat. Absolutely.
I miss a little bit of the caramel.
What would you add?
Maybe even just FA caramel.
What about Flavor West Butterscotch Ripple?
That has ethyl maltol, right? We wouldn't need both.
Right. I was going to say that too.
I'm going to go throw some in.
What, like 0.75 or more?
I'd say 1.5.
Well, let's mix that shit up.
Yep, 1.5 it is.
One 1.5%.
Same.
We're keeping the original recipe the same as it is, except we're adding 1.5% Flavor West Butterscotch Ripple. We're adding 1.5% Flavor West Butterscotch Ripple just to kind of bridge the gap between the tobacco and the custards, give it a little sweetness as well.
That was it. The creams were feeling flat, and the Butterscotch Ripple had enough cream to throw that up and then add that bit of caramel that we needed. That's beautiful right there.
That butterscotch note, it doesn't come off as butterscotch. It's just silky, smooth fucking caramel.
Yeah.
That trick with the butterscotch ripple, vanilla custard, vanilla rouillon, it fixes vanilla rouillon custard.
Yep. We'll try it in a week, see how that turns out, see if there's any changes that we need to make, but I feel like that was pretty productive.